We are a reenactment group out of New England. We reenact the War of the Roses era over in England, which is 1450 up to 1480. A lot of interesting stuff. We're not going to go into that today because we don't want to be boring any more than we usually are. So, what you're going to see today are demonstrations of Western martial arts, the fighting styles of England, the medieval times and so forth. We do wear full steel armor, and we do use mostly steel weapons. This is not for people who have not been trained. We've been doing this for years. We recommend that you don't try this at home. If you do, you will end up in the ER. We'll come and find you and laugh at you. My name is Sir Brian. This is Sir Rory. We have our marshal today. He'll also be talking to you about other aspects of the medieval time periods. Marcus. I'll eventually learn that name. Just like this? Yeah, why not? Okay. Now, just so you folks know, this is another disclaimer. It's pretty hot out there for you guys, isn't it?
Yes.
Yeah. Upper 80s, 90s, I don't know what it is.
58!
Oh, it's about 30 degrees hotter inside here. All right? I'm like an easy bake oven without the light bulb. So, we will be stopping for a little bit, taking breaks, breathers, getting some water. Marcus will stop. We'll talk to you folks. Try to keep things going.
Yeah. What are you going to start with? So today what you're going to see is combat that was done in the mid-1400s, mid to late 1400s. And what we're trying to show here is not necessarily the death blows, because it's hard to train these guys, you know. So the weapons they're using are blunted or rebaited, but they're still very dangerous.
You're saying it's hard to train us because it's very intensive training, or because we rode the short bus here?
Because you're old dogs.
What he said. No, it's it takes many years to train for this. We do start using something like this, right? This is called a waster. Wooden wasters were used in many cultures, and what you'll see here is some of the. I'm not sure how Sir Brian is going to use his sword today. He's going to be using a sword and a buckler, and Sir Rory is going to be using a flail and buckler, it appears. But these weapons are not single use like you would see in the movies, where I wouldn't just. I mean, this just tires my arm and annoys him, right? Or you've got to give him a break here. You'll see people hold the swords this way, and you say, well, wouldn't they cut themselves? Not if it's done right. And then what I can do is come up and hook him, and pull down. I can push up, try to get him that way, bash him with the pommel, and then I've got good aim when I pull my sword this way. It's hard to stab someone from way back here, right? Things glance off. But if I grab it up tight and close, I might be able to sneak up under the armor, into the armpit, the groin. We won't do that, all right? And then, of course, when the visor's down, ready?
The other one went there.
All right. I might even be able to get into his visor, which does happen, as if I'm holding it this way. If I'm holding it back here and trying to stay out of the way of his flail, of course, if he gives me the backside, this, all these. But he's not going to do that for me. How are we doing? Good. All right. A little bit later, we'll talk about archery. I'm the master archer. And when you see a guy like this in full plate, you wonder how it is that you might be able to kill one. Well, we could, and I'll explain how in a bit. ready.
Gavin.
Salute.
I told you not on the rocks.
Leo.
Just think he's sitting.
Right.
Water's right there.
Leo.
Demonstration on your phone. You just make a little noise at home, all right? We're going to cheer from a little bit louder this time.
Hold on a second.
Otherwise, they might...
There we go. Shoulder. Good. Shoulder. Shoulder.
Go.
I'm on fire. While they're taking a break, the time period that we portray, the archer is on the back end of the period. The gun is coming to the field and it's starting to make more of a mark, no pun intended. But the archers are still an important bit because they've been trained, and it's much safer. In fact, if you take a look at the gunners at the time, gunners was spelled G-O-N-N-E-R-S. And gunners are really often what they were because anybody could be trained to point the metal bit in that direction. The archers were highly trained over a long time period. But when you look at a bow like this and an arrow like this, how on earth could I kill a thing like that? Well, the reason that could happen is that I didn't have a little arrow like this and a little bow like this. A bow like this pulls about 40 pounds. And the arrows at the time were about a ½ inch in diameter. Right? They weighed about a quarter pound.
And you're going to hold somebody
need to wait.
Bodkin points they were bought were about
it's over here.
4 inches long, and they were made specifically for penetrating armor. Now, if you take this bow and strap 4 of them together, because they were pulling upwards of 160 to 180 pound bows,
Gavin.
then shoot
I
a
have to use
quarter
it
pounder,
I don't want to sit.
all the way across the
Oh, you stay
battlefield,
right there,
and you
you
hit
can't
one of
move.
these guys straight on,
I just said
right into the plate, then they could penetrate.
sit down.
By this time period, the armor is actually getting thick enough that the arrows are starting to be stopped. Right? Flicking off to the side. In this case, I might end up getting him in the arm. Right? Hopefully, for his sake, not up in the chin. Okay, but the archers were effective against the knights of the time period. And the other thing, when I saw a knight like this, I'm seeing money.
Remember that, ladies.
All right? There were 4 archers for every 1 knight. And when the knights finally got all the way up to us, we had to fight because they would cut us down. Knights hated archers. Yeah. Right? Because archers we were the first person who could kill a knight without actually facing them in battle. So what would end up happening is I would throw down my bow. If I had a sword or a sidearm, an axe of some sort, I'm going to come in and I'm going to try to trip him up. There'd be 4 of us ganging up on him. And in the end, I'm going to pull a dagger. I'm going to put it right there in between his eyes and ask him to surrender. If he surrenders, I have ransom. If he doesn't surrender, I've got armor.
I don't surrender. I'm not French.
So, Well, because it was so hot, let's get our mates back out of the field so they can continue. Hand and half sword, sword and buckler. Lay on.
Let's go!
It's hot and humid today, so we're just going to give them a break before the hours pass. Nice to hear you, wonderful fans.
Yes. We have our own fan
Only
club.
the good ones.
Go for Andy, please.
Not through this. Why's it you two?
Because I'm me.
That's better.
You don't think I'd have two if Jordan was in here fighting.
He doesn't fight, he just poses. I've seen the pictures.
Don't quit your day job.
Good? Yeah.
That would be like the commercial break, your belly going by.
Wardrobe malfunction.
Bigger actually.
How do you like them apples?
We lost the strap on the armor, so we're going to have to hold the strap. Nice, take a rest. Is there any questions?
Right here.
I'll be a replacement.
Stay with Raina.
They used the hatchet man. Alright, just a little bit of warmth.
Warm?
I'm quite hot for you.
Aha!
So we're going to fix his armor. You can join us again later at 2:30
Yes, 2:30.
here on the builder stage.
Front lawn. If you folks have any questions, feel free to come visit us at the Red and Black Tent. We love to answer questions. We love to take pictures with you. And anything else that is legal. So,
Hold a hand, Andrew. Slow down.
Kyle, get the armor under the tent.
Yeah.